All right, let's watch Hasan on the
With
BBC.
us tonight is one of the most successful Twitch streamers, Hasan. He's a left-wing political commentator, a self-prescribed propagandist who has...
Honestly, Twitch is the most embarrassing name for our platform. It's a really bad name. It is such a bad name. Like, think about what twitching is. It's like an uncomfortable or like almost uncontrollable little, tremble, or it's a symptom of a disease. You're going to name your company after a symptom of many diseases? Like, what the fuck is this? Twitch. Come on. How much better is YouTube than Twitch? It's so much better of a name.
Tens of thousands of people right now watching his 10-hour-long broadcast on the city.
Oh my God, did they really do that? They put his stats on the page? They put his stats on the page? He only streamed 2 different games, chat. In the last month, he's only streamed 2 games in the last month. The gaming frogs are starving. I'm fucking starving over here. Where is my middle-aged, slightly above average gameplay? This is bullshit. Pretty sure one of those games is just chatting. That's what I'm talking about. That's just edited from the uploader? Okay, good. I was gonna say, like, what the fuck?
Now watching his 10-hour-long broadcast on the situation in Gaza. In the past fortnight, I should say, he's raised from small donations over $1 million for the Palestinians. Hasan Piker, good evening.
Thank you for having me. I was privy to the conversation that you were having earlier, and I have a lot of thoughts on what was said, but also specifically on why the BBC is under fire for, in my opinion, engaging in objective news coverage for the first time in the conflict, in a situation where the fog of war presented facts coming from numerous different authorities.
Wow, the BBC did okay. Well, I mean, this is the reality. For Israelis, they're used to the American media, where they could just do whatever they want and lie blatantly, and no one will ever call them out on it because everyone's intimidated. Chat, if you didn't see it, on a Friday, I had a stream with Caroline. Were you guys here? Were you guys here? Here, let me see if I can show you. Let me show you the VOD. And Carolyn and I talked about this. Let me show you the VOD. Okay, oh, Jesus Christ, I'm echoing. By the way, the thumbnail was like this. The thumbnail was like this. Such a bad thumbnail of us. We're just so mad. We're just sitting there like raging about how disgusting the world is. But there you go. And by the way, chat, if Carter wakes up, see, whenever I tell people like, oh, you have to wake up like an adult before noon, they're like, oh my God. I'm like, this is why I'm one of the biggest streamers. I wake up before noon with the adults. Do you think Karner's going to be up? I don't think so. I don't think so. So apparently Karner and Ravana are going to be here, but I don't know, Chad. I'm not going to hold my breath. But anyway, Caroline was here. I think it was great. I think that Caroline and I have great conversations. Personally. I think it was a hit. When I went on her stream, it was funny. And when she came on my stream, it was great. I think Caroline and I are mwah, as a combo. We can definitely shoot the shit for hours. She said she had a great time. Show me clips. You interrupt too much? True. That's my East Coast shit. I get excited and I want to share my info, you know. That's my East Coast / ADHD, autistic, who fucking knows? My neurodivergence, you know what I mean? Yeah, East Coasters tend to like talk over each other. I don't know why we do that, but it's a thing. Will Neff hat spotted. Yeah, I know. It's pretty good. It's a good hat. Oh my God. I got 2 bottles of sauce. I got 2 bottles of Will Neff sauce. I haven't tried it yet. But it's going on some eggs. I think you gave her some much needed advice, and I would say a sounding board for her to talk about the attack she was under for her pro-Palestinian takes. It felt like you gave great advice, therapist Mike. It's just called being a friend, man. All right. Well, if you guys find me clips of other streamers talking about how awesome I am, I will gift you something. Honestly, we need to create a Mike defense squad or a Mike propaganda wing. Who wants to be in the Mike propaganda wing? I've decided we need to engage in proactive measures. Every single time someone is nice to me, we're gonna edit it together into a one long PR reel. It's not going to be very long in the beginning, but over many years and much effort, we could possibly get 5 minutes. Good clip from Mike and Caroline stream. Yeah, I was showing her the cracked thing about Napkin Man.
The weapon out of his hand and then break his neck with a spin kick, and then my mom would finally love me.
Do you want check?
My name is Joe Lazito, and one day in 2011, my morning...
The weapon out of his hand and then break...
Oh, no. Oh, no. How did I like the Arab panel at TwitchCon? That was the MENA panel, not the Arab panel. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. Priceless reaction. Yeah. Chat, I care about your viewing experience. Thank you, Gary. If you and Vio have more little moments together that catch you in a really good charismatic light. Mike, was there a ball pit in TwitchCon this year? I don't know, man. I think it would be great for stream, no?
It was the kind of day when history pivots, takes a turn that will shape the lives of millions.
Is this good? It seems pretty good. We might have to watch that. If you're looking for clips, I mean, some of my favorite moments in VO stream is hearing you screaming from the distance. Oh, no. Mike from Corporate was a funny moment on one of Vio's last stream. He was very funny and charismatic while making fun of mods. I mean, that's like kicking a baby, honestly. Making fun of a mod. Have you seen Solio? Solio was developed in a laboratory to be bullied. And, it's not even fair. He's very nice and useful and helpful as a friend. But, like, for example, like last night, he had like a little, he charged like a backup battery and had a cable for me for my phone. I was like, ah, shit, my phone's dying. And he's like, here you go. I have a backup battery for you, sir. And I was like, do you have a charging cable? And he's like, of course I do. And I spontaneously said, this is why your bloodline survives. I didn't even think about it. It just came out of nowhere. That instead of thank you, that's what I said.
I believe that it is perfectly valid and understandable to assume, to make the reasonable assessment and reasonable assumption that the Al Ahli hospital was bombed from either an Israeli airstrike or new information coming from forensic architecture shows that it could have possibly been an artillery strike as well. This is just developing at this moment. And I think that covering it, considering that the Al Ahli hospital had previously been bombed by Israel 2 days prior or 3 days prior on Saturday, bombed by Israel, where the cancer ward was damaged, where 4 hospital staff were wounded, and that the hospital staff themselves had said that the Israeli authorities had routinely been in contact with them, telling them to evacuate. And this evacuation order, of course, has been given to numerous hospitals.
Yeah. Okay. Well, listen, Hasan, I don't want to relitigate what happened on Tuesday night. Or suffice to say that BBC Verify have done they've done a deep dive into what happened, and people can go and read what BBC Verify have uncovered. And I think it's a fair assumption of what we have, what is in the public domain. But obviously, neither side on this argument is going to be satisfied until there's an independent investigation, and it's not something we're likely to get. So none of us can really assess what.
True. However, that means that the BBC needs to stop reporting things that Israel says as if it's a fucking reliable source. You can't use Israeli officials and Israeli propaganda as reliable sources, and then when people push back, go, well, we don't know until it is independent investigation. It's like, you're trying to convince people that the civilians being killed in Gaza are either directly killed by Hamas through their bungling and incompetence, or justifiably killed because they're used as human shields. These are all lies. As Israel carpet bombs Gaza so they can ethnically cleanse it. That's what's happening. That's not really true. Israel doesn't want a third-party investigation. Well, of course.
What happened or who was to blame. What I want to get to is why your Twitch account, why your broadcasts each evening are so popular. What is it that your audience gets from you that it perhaps doesn't get from me? Because you get more people watching you of an evening than I do.
Oh my Lord in heaven. Oh my Lord in heaven. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, honestly, chat, I'm not even that big. And like, I'm starting to put up enough numbers daily. I get 80K viewers some days, usually about 25 to 30,000. That's usually like kind of just a bog standard average day for me. But like, look at Hasan's face. Like, not bad. I got more than BBC. Nice dick riding. I kind of want to make a post that has that clip and go, wow, the BBC dick riding of Hasan is going out of control. It's almost like the BBC wants to push socialism.
I think that one of the reasons why my broadcast, I guess, is relatively popular is because younger people are looking for alternative media outlets that offer a level of consistency and analysis from all sides of any given conflict, any given real-time situation.
He's saying I'm the true neutral Oh my God, this is so good. I'm the actual journalist. The BBC just gets Israeli talking points. Watch me so you can get all the real analysis from all sides. Let's go. How do you convince a BBC watcher to watch you? I'm a biased journalist. I'm an unbiased journalist, unlike the BBC. The Piers Morgan interview with Hasan has 3.4 million views just on Pierce's channel. They will definitely be having him on as much as they can. Let's fucking go! They also told Hasan they ended up giving him more airtime than a prime minister. Yeah, the prime minister was boring and a genocidal freak. Hasan said the guy was nice to him and really liked him and wanted to talk in. Because that guy can smell clout! He can smell clout.
Cutting through the fog of war is obviously a very difficult thing to do, especially when the electricity and power and internet is shut off in the Gaza Strip. But we make do here, and I think that's part of the reason I have a lot of on-the-ground reporters that I trust. I have a lot of reporters that I trust in America and also in Israel, alongside on the Palestinian side that I take from when I'm engaging in this kind of coverage. And I think there's a more personal component to it as well. But last but not least, I guess the main difference here is that my perspective, which I'm very open about, is biased. I believe in the emancipation of Palestinians. I believe that they have a right to return. I believe that there should be a single, solitary, secular nation state where Palestinians and Israelis have equal rights. I believe in punishing the war criminals, not just on the Palestinian side as well, who have done ruthless and brutal attacks against civilian populations, but also on the Israeli side as well with the Truth and Reconciliation Committee. These are things that I believe, and I am.
So do you think you reflect? I mean, you say you're a self-prescribed propagandist. You say you have bias in a Palestinian direction. Is there a danger that people?
No, not bias in a Palestinian direction. I have bias
towards a particular view on the conflict.
In a particular view on the conflict, but against all people that are subjugated, all people that are under fire. There is no difference from my perspective between an Israeli child and a Palestinian child.
Hasan says, thank you for the shout out. I just found out. You did a great job on the edit. I was laughing my ass off. Honestly, more edits like that. That's what you need. You got to get more humor. That's the way to get the attention. So good comedic timing. You're on the way. I wish I had it. I'd be more popular. You know what I mean? Nice pause. See? You know how Hasan says everyone can be a 7? With a pause screen like that, I can make him a 7 too. Motherfucker! Get knocked down! I'm gonna make you a 7 too with my pauses. I'd say he was an 8.5. Shut up! That's Hasan's Riz face. I have an idea of what kind of face that is, but I'm not going to say it online.
Child, and I believe that unfortunately, due to the way that we have manufactured consent for decades over the war on terror, most people in the Western world, whether they recognize it or not, do not cover the victims of a larger state power, especially when they're Arab, especially when they're Muslim, like they're full human beings. They're just enemy combatants. They're usually seen as enemy combatants. And I think that the water gets muddied in this regard, and I think it plays into what the IDF likes to propagandize is the fact that they're the most moral army, and that we're having this conversation in the eve of more than 3,400 Palestinians being murdered by the IDF in an ongoing campaign. The defense minister has openly said we're fighting human animals. That's why we have to cut their food, their water, and their electricity. These are all war crimes. These are war crimes when Russia does it. These are war crimes when Israel does it. And yet, for some reason, we consistently muddy the waters and say there are
Damn. See, the best part of this is Hasan is actually doing a really great job of just dominating the interview by never ending and never giving a gap for the interviewer to jump in. So he's just giving a big, long block of propaganda. And the guy's forced to nod and go like, yeah, yeah. He's trying to signal to Hasan to shut up, but Hasan won't. So he's just like kind of getting uncomfortable while Hasan just keeps laying out all the talking points. He said he didn't realize he was trying to jump in, Keck W. He's saying he couldn't see the interviewer. Oh, that's rough. That's rough. But it ended up working out. The thing about being a Twitch streamer is we learn how to continue talking forever and ever and never finishing. Like, I don't end with a conclusion. I just end and then move on to the next thing because maybe I want to keep talking. Maybe I want to draw it out. Maybe I have some like thought that pops in my head that might give some better clarification or an interesting little tidbit. And that's how you pull out 5 hours. Whereas, if you're doing 30-second, sound bites on TV, it's a different talking style. Basically, you do your talking point conclusion. I feel like cable news, your goal is to get your talking points out. Exactly.
Enemy combatants, and then there are civilians, and they're just, collateral damage.
Hasan, I'm pressed for time. I've only got about a minute 40 left. But one of the things that worries me, and it sort of relates to how I come under attack on this program, is just how quickly, after the events of the last 2 weeks, how polarizing the debate becomes, how everybody seems incapable of seeing the other's perspective or point of view when it comes to this issue. Why is that?
I think it's polarizing because people, like I said, do not see the humanity of those who are under colonial subjugation. These are ever since the Nakba, Palestinians have not been able to return back to their homes. 700,000 originally in 1948. And there has been a brutal occupation that the Human Rights Watch and Amnesty International now correctly consider to be an apartheid state. This is, of course, I would say...
Correctly. I love going on the BBC with a chain and the Will Neff hat. With the hotel painting in the background. Like, this is Hasan in a nutshell. This is why he's on the BBC and I'm not.
20 years after Nelson Mandela had considered Israel to be an apartheid state, and I feel like he knows a thing or two about apartheid states in general. And it's not necessarily a polarizing subject. It's just that there are right-wing forces inside of Israel that are utilizing this the conflict as a means to continue getting more land grabs and continue the brutal occupation in the West Bank as well, which is completely unjustifiable and illegal by international law.
Yeah.
But it's not polarizing.
Hasan, I'll have to cut it there because we're about to go to a break, but it's been lovely to talk to you. Congratulations on the success of your programming. Good to get your perspective as well this evening. Let me just show you the picture at the State Department, which we're watching closely. For an update on those hostages, we'll bring you that shortly.
Oh, my Lord in heaven.